Hi, Queen. Welcome back to the Ghislain Maiden podcast. This week, I have noticed a common theme within my psychic sessions, my coaching sessions, and in today's episode, I'm going to riff on this topic. And the theme is the price of your evolution. Now, what do I mean by the price? When you step more into your power, when you shed the parts of yourself that aren't serving you, so the mindset, the habits, the beliefs, the ways of being, who you are fundamentally changes. And so what also happens is your interests change. What you say yes to changes. What you say no to changes. The standard of your life elevates. Now, where this can have a price, and the hardest thing often about evolution, transformation, is the fact that it will make those around you very uncomfortable. The people that are currently closest to you might be the least supportive of your growth and your evolution. And it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Because you becoming a better version of yourself, you saying no to the ways that you sabotage yourself, say it's in the shitty self-talk, in the alcohol, the drugs, the porn, the social media, the lack of exercise, nutrition, whatever the vice is that you're using right now that's not supporting yourself, when you stop just saying yes to that and you start choosing different life choices, different beliefs, different behaviors, it shines a light on those around you and it makes them uncomfortable because on a subconscious level, the part of them that has accepted where they are becomes activated. And so what we tend to see, particularly in people in relationship, is that when someone changes and grows, the partner in that relationship becomes very uncomfortable. They can often attack that person to try and bring them back down to where they are comfortable with you. This is so normal. And it doesn't mean that you stay where you are in your current manifestation of your reality, in your current limitations, in your current habits and mindset beliefs that aren't fucking serving you. Or you can, and you're always going to allow those who are wounded and limited to limit your life choices. Now, this can also look the same if you're a business owner. Quite often, business owners will become known for something. And so then one of the hardest things for people to give themselves permission to do, if they've made a name for themselves as something, is to say, I'm no longer going to do that thing because it no longer aligns with how I am here to serve the world. Now, that might be freeing for you. And as someone who does this consistently, it's a practice that I am completely devoted to. But it doesn't make it easy for those around you. Because people in your community, they want to put you in places where you are familiar, where they know how to interact with you, because when they know how to interact with you, they know who you are. That creates the illusion of safety. And so when you change, you no longer fit into this mold of who they feel comfortable with you being. And once again, that little mirror inside themselves is like, well, why aren't I giving myself permission to evolve or change? Because your growth, your evolution, your ability to pivot and become more empowered, say fuck yes to the things that are serving you, is completely activating for a disempowered person. And a disempowered person, instead of rising to the opportunity to meet you, will try and cut you down because that's where they are comfortable with you being. And I've seen this time and time and time again with my clients, and I've personally experienced it a lot when I first started my path to transformation, to really embodying more of my power, particularly when I became sober. When I became sober, the hardest thing about it was actually navigating other people's discomfort with my sobriety. And honestly, I never expected that. It made people deeply uncomfortable that I could go out dancing, that I could socialize with them, that I could still interact without needing to completely annihilate myself to be comfortable enough in who the fuck I am. And that ignited the part of them that deeply wants that, but isn't giving themselves permission to do it. And so they would attack me. So many times in the first 2 years of me becoming sober, people would say to me, when are you going to give this up? When are you going to stop? I'm like, well, clearly I'm not, because I fucking love it. There's no downside to not drinking. I look better. I feel better. I make better choices. My body feels fucking amazing. My mind's clear. To the people around me, it made them deeply uncomfortable. Now, when I first also started changing who I was, what I believed in, how I spoke to myself, how I really saw the world around me, it also made those same group of people really fucking uncomfortable because those group of people were committed to staying where they are. Whereas I was going, okay, I could stay here, but I know there is more for me. I know that I am meant for more, so I'm going to do the things that I need to take to move myself forward. And so that's what I did time after time after time after time. But if someone else is not prepared to look at their own shit, to take radical self-responsibility for who they are, their thoughts, their habits, their actions, and for the fucking reality that they have created, they will constantly criticize the person that has courage to change their life, because it's much easier to criticize another than to actually look internally to take the responsibility that you need to take to move the needle forward. And this is why 70% of people will live the most mundane, unfulfilled life experience because they will allow their environment to keep them stuck. I really want you to think about your circle of influence. The 3 to 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with are the people that you will become. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. You will literally become a variation of their thoughts, their beliefs, their actions. This is why the rooms that you put yourself in are so important. And if you are someone who is committed to creating a legacy, to creating wealth, to creating impact, to creating influence, you have to put yourself in expansive rooms and you have to unapologetically say fucking no to the disempowered people who are so miserable and uncomfortable in their human experience that rather than change their own fucking life, they're going to attack you for wanting to change yours. Particularly if you're Australian, this tall poppy syndrome is chronic, but it's not an excuse for you not to take radical self-responsibility and radical action to create the reality that you are here to create. And so I want you to get really clear on, are the people in your environment supportive of your dreams? Now, when someone's supportive, it doesn't mean that they don't challenge you. Actually, some of the most supportive people in my life consistently invite me into deeper layers of who I am and how I'm leading. They invite me to really get curious on my roadblocks, on the way that I'm limiting myself, and I freaking love that about them. So are the people in your world lifting you up? Are they a fan and a number one supporter of your bigness? And if they're not, you need to have really honest conversations about what the standard of your life is going to be and what is the caliber of relationships that you are willing to tolerate. And then you allow those people to come and meet you. And not everybody will. Unfortunately, not everybody can come with you. And that's the hardest thing about transformation. Not everybody's meant to. There's a saying that it's reason, season, or lifetime, and that people will come into your life for a reason, so to teach you a lesson, for a season, a period of time, or for a lifetime. And we get to be thankful for the different roles that people play in our lives. So if you're a business owner in particular, I want to speak to this, and you know that you've been playing fucking safe in your comfort zone, in the comfort zone of how you have served, or like what feels comfortable because it's familiar, because it's what you've always done, blah, 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 blah. But you know within the fabric of your body that you are here for more, that there is something bigger, different, more expansive that's calling you. I want to invite you to unapologetically go to that space. And if you're ready to take action on this, book in for one of my psychic leadership sessions. I have a very limited number of these this month. And in this session, we get clarity on the exact movement you are here to lead. And then we take that clarity and we transform that into strategy, into action. So you not only leave with the clarity you need, but also an action plan for you to move forward and create the change that your soul actually came here to create, because you have a purpose. You are here for a very specific reason. Your body has a unique set of codes, frequencies, wisdom that only you can share. And women leading movements is the new era of leadership that we are stepping into. So the women who are here to lead that, it is your turn to rise. And I am here to support you. So either book one of those one-to-one sessions or jump into the Consciousness Collective, because this is where we teach you how to master the realms of consciousness, energetics, manifestation, and embodied leadership. This is where you awaken your eroticism so you become the powerhouse leader who's influential, whose presence alone shapes cultures. That's all I have for you this week. And remember that for you to become the leader that you are destined to become is going to invite you to consistently evolve. And that means that you will continually change your identity, your habits, your beliefs, and your ways of serving. And that this is actually in the highest service of humanity. So give yourself permission to go there. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Let me know in the comments what landed for you.